Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this stitch. This stitch has only 2 rows repeat. This is the back of the work and this is the front. Well, the sides are pretty much okay. You can make a blanket, a baby blanket, maybe you want to make a summer scarf, a blouse. There's so many things that you can do with this stitch. The sample that I just showed you, I worked it with 2.5mm crochet hook. The yarn is kind of thin. Okay, this stitch works with multiples of 8 plus 3 more. So I have my multiples of 8 here. I'm gonna chain 3 more. And now what we're gonna do, yarn over the hook, we're gonna skip the first 6 chains from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the 7th chain we're gonna do a puff. So you're gonna pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, you go back again into the chain, pull up a loop, and go back again. You're gonna go 3 times in there. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and then chain 2. Yarn over the hook, we're gonna go back into the same chain where we did this puff, and we're gonna do 2 more puffs. So you go in there, so once, twice, and the 3rd time. You pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, then chain 2. So we're gonna go back again into the same chain and we're gonna do the 3rd puff. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and then chain 2. And now depends how long you put how long is your chain. From now on until we finish, we're gonna do like this. We're gonna skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, yarn over the hook. We're gonna skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're gonna do 3 puffs in there. So once you go, the 2nd time, and the 3rd time. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and then chain 2. And now we're gonna do 2 more puffs into the same chain. And we're gonna do the 3rd one. And we're gonna close the puff and then chain 2. And again we're gonna skip the next, you have to be careful with the next chain. So we're gonna skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, and again we're gonna skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're gonna do the 3 puffs, pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and then chain 2. And we have to make into the same chain 2 more puffs. And 1 more puff to do. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat, one of the 2 rows. And now you're gonna be left with 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're gonna skip the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the last chain, into the 4th chain, you're gonna do a double crochet, chain 3, turn your work, and now we're gonna move to these 3 puffs. So in these 2 chain spaces, we're gonna place in there, yarn over the hook, into the first space, 2 chain space, we're gonna place in there 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one. Now you're going to chain 1, and you're going to move to the next chain 2 space, and we're going to place in there 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to move to the next. So you're going to skip all this. Yeah. So you move to the next set of puffs, and in these 2 chain spaces here we're going to place 5 double crochets. So this you know, the first row and this row is the one that you're going to repeat until you finish the work. So you're going to put in that 2 chain space 5 double crochets. So this is the 4th, and 1 more. I'm going to chain 1, and you're going to move to the next 2 chain space between the puffs, these 2, and you're going to put in there 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you always chain 2 after you finish the sets of 5 double crochets. And again, you're going to skip all this, and you're going to move to the next, these 2 chain spaces between the puffs, and you're going to place into the first 2 chain space 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. I'm going to chain 1, and into the next 2 chain space you're going to place in there 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one. And now you're going to chain 2, yarn over the hook, and in this, on top of here, the chain that we skipped in the beginning, on top, either you go into the top one or the next one. I'm going to go into the next one, not quite the top, but if you think you like it more, the one on the top, and you're going to do a double crochet. You're going to chain 3, turn your work, it's going to look like this. So now you're going to repeat the first row with the puffs. Yeah. So you chain 3, yarn over the hook, you're going to move into this space right here between the 5 double crochets to that 1 chain space, and in here we're going to do 3 puffs. Yeah. So we pull up a loop, we're going to go in there 3 times, pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and then chain 2, and we're gonna do 2 more puffs into the same space. So once, twice, and the 3rd time, pull the yarn through all the loops, secure the puff, and then chain 2, and you go back again into the space and you do the 3rd puff, close the puff, and then chain 2. So now between this the 5 double crochet we have this 2 chain space. So in here, in this, between the cluster of 5 double crochet, we're gonna go into this 2 chain space and we're gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, and you move to the next set of 5 double crochet and chain 1, and to the space between them in there you're gonna do the 3 puffs. So once, and the third time pull the yarn through all the loops, close the puff, and do 2 chains, and now we have to do 2 more puffs. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and then chain 2, and 1 more puff into the same space. If you like the puffs to be bigger, you can go 4 times or 5 times, depends. So now into the space, 2 chain space here between the 5 double crochets, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, yarn over the hook, and now we have the last cluster of 5 double crochet with a chain 1, and we're gonna do the same, 3 puffs in there. So you're gonna do the first puff, and you go back again to do 2 more puffs. And we have to do 1 more puff. Close the puff and then chain 2, and over the hook, and now into this third chain, 1 2 3, the third one on top there, we're gonna do a double crochet. You're always gonna finish with a double crochet with this stitch. Now you're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna repeat the second row with the 5 double crochets. Yeah, so yarn over the hook, we have the first cluster of puffs here. So in this 2 chain space between the puffs, you're gonna place into the first 2 chain space 5 double crochets. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. You're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna move. It's like you skip the middle, the one in the middle of the puff, and in the next 2 chain space you're gonna put in there 5 double crochets. So now you're gonna skip all this. First you're gonna do 2 chains, and then you're gonna move to the next cluster of puffs. So into the first 2 chain space in there between puffs, you're gonna place 5 double crochets. You're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna move to the next 2 chain space, and you're gonna put there 5 double crochets. It's a very easy stitch. I think for a blouse it's nice to work this stitch. And 1 more, and now you're gonna chain 2, and you're gonna skip all this, and you move to the last 3 puffs. So in this 2 chain space, you're gonna place in there in each 5 double crochets. So 1 2 3 4th and the 5th. You're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna move, skip the one in the middle, the next puff, and in there into the 2 chain space you're gonna place in there 5 double crochets. This yarn doesn't slide on my my fingers. Okay, one more. I'm gonna chain 2, and now yarn over the hook. You have the chain here, 1 2 1 2 3 on top of the third chain. Gonna go in there and gonna do a double crochet. You're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna repeat the first row with the puffs. So you're gonna go between the cluster of 5 double crochet into 1 chain space, and you're gonna do 3 puffs separated by 2 chains, and then in here you're gonna do a single crochet and puffs, single crochet, of course with 2 chains between the, after you finish the puffs, and 2 chains after you finish the single crochet. So this is the stitch. It's very easy, it's very, well, fast, goes fast. This sample, it's with the yarn, it's very thin, but the sample that I just did now, showing you the stitch, it's a little bit thicker. So this is the sample. It's very easy and it goes really fast. If you want something breezy and meshy, whatever. I think the back looks really nice and the sides are okay. So if you like to do something with this stitch, give it a go. You might like it. I think you should finish the row with the, like I finished here, with the puffs. Now depends. Maybe you will like to finish the, whatever you do, the project with this 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochets. Yeah, if you like this. If you don't like with the 5 double crochet, then you finish with the, like here I stopped with the row with the puffs. Yeah, if you like to finish like that. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.